Hey everybody, welcome to Planetary Awareness. We are here on my organic farm, which I like to call Organic Land, also known as Sunny Stream Farms. It's a month of May 2019. It's beautiful out. Over on that side is a plot of empty land that is going to be a nursery, actually, with hundreds of thousands of trees. And over here is the land I'm working with. As you can see, the plums are leafing out nicely, producing a couple plums. That's a Hollywood. We got a bunch of others down here, as well as Asian pears. So I'm going to give you this tour here, and I'm also going to put in some footage of myself receiving a whole bunch of trees, over 100 different fruit trees. That was in April. So this is the whole secret to the operation. In fact, it's not a secret, because I'm telling you, it's all about the wood chips. It's all about getting that covering down to protect your soil, to feed your soil, to hold the moisture in, to keep the airflow going, loosen it up, and help keep weeds out. With this method, back to Eden gardening method, you do not have to water, you do not have to weed, you do not have to till, you don't have to fertilize, and you do not have to rotate your crops. Apple orchard over here. We got the Honey Crisp, Golden Delicious, Gold Rush, Gravenstein, Akani, Sweet 16, the Fuji, all kinds of apples in here. That's a 4-in-1 planting. 4 different types of apples in one hole. We keep the trees short and bushy so that we can maintain them. We're using the backyard gardening style. We're not a typical commercial farm, at least. And we are not having massive trees here. As you can see, this oak tree here, we cut down quite a bit. Open up more light for this persimmon orchard. Got all kinds of persimmons, chocolate persimmons, coffee cake persimmons, about 25 different varieties. We got lines of watermelon, corn, beans, squash, all kinds of melons, okra, sunflowers. And here, got all kinds of herbs, flowers. And this is just the beginning. We've done all this in just 2 years. Less than that, actually. We got all kinds of peppers. We've got all kinds of tomatoes, celery. We'll show you that here. Here's the figs, actually. Whole line of figs. This wall is gonna protect them, keep the heat in. All kinds of mints all over the place. So we'll go into the stone fruit orchard, where we have over 40 different types of peaches, nectarines, apricots, and all different kinds of hybrid crosses. There's a sweet bagel peach leafing out. As you can see tomatoes, 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 and peppers, peppers, peppers. 10 rows here. All different kinds of basils in between. Celery, basil, rhubarb, gooseberries, loaded, strawberries, loaded with flowers. Got all kinds of strawberries, even purple strawberries, white strawberries, yellow strawberries, all kinds of currants producing, and all kinds of broccolis, purple broccoli, purple cauliflower, red Brussels sprouts, golden beets, red beets, rainbow Swiss chard, garlic, onions, parsley, cilantro, dill, different lettuces. We're super early into the season right now. Super early into this farm too. I mean, we've been here, this is the third season, but really kind of the second season. We didn't do much at all the first year. Look at these peaches coming out. You guys can have this too, you know? Even on a small plot, you can do this. Just get the wood chips down, get the contractor's paper, get the cardboard, put it over the grass, and then lay the wood chips down. And you can have a food forest as well. Look at these. They're supposed to be nectarines, but I think they're peaches actually. You know, I'm not even going to go over all the varieties because there's so many. You'll just have to either come visit or you'll get some produce someday from me. We got all kinds of pluots, all kinds of apriums, pacotums, peach apricot, plum crosses, black apricot, white apricot. All different kinds of things in here. I mean, this is just beautiful. This is a nectar plum, nectarine crossed with a plum, and currants and gooseberries and all kinds of nitrogen fixers in between these trees. I mean, they're so young. I just got them. In fact, why don't we go ahead and show you some footage from when they arrived, and then I'll take you back to the tour. Oh my God, the trees have arrived. This is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for since last summer when I was at Burnt Ridge Nursery. My big order of trees. We got apples, peaches, pears, plums, persimmons, figs, all types of berries. Probably 100 different things in just 5 different packages. All organic, certified organic. Here's part of our second order from Rain Tree Nursery, also in Washington State. Gravenstein apple, the best apple I ever had, from Paul Gauci, Back to Eden. Okay. Gravenstein, is it how you say it?
Gravenstein apple.
All right, here we go.
Bite into that and watch the water.
Mmm. Whoa! That's on another level.
Isn't it? It's awesome. It's got the sweet and the tart, both. And it's just like, and it's not even quite ripe yet.
Whoa!
When it gets ripe, it's like.
And the more you chew it, the more flavor comes out. It's like.
Are you hearing this?
Levels of
I'm not
flavors.
setting them up. I'm just letting them eat. And this is the reality of good food. It's just awesome.
Wow. Cheers. Alright guys, so you saw my footage of me getting my trees, and all those trees were put in the ground in a matter of weeks. We did a lot of work here. So now we're going to show you the rest of the farm. Blueberries loaded up. Got 20 blueberry bushes in just this section here alone. Look at the blossoms on that little tiny bush, just tons. Over here we got honeyberries, which are like blueberries, but they're elongated, oval shaped. And what's cool is, you know, all this space, we can use it to plant annuals. So we got peppers in between the berry bushes. It's gonna, and the fruit trees. You know, it's gonna take a while for things to get big. All this grass here will eventually be wood chips. Aronia berries. High bush cranberry. Honey locust. Pomegranate. Service berries. All kinds of mulberries. Sea buckthorn, also known as sea berries. We got over there the chayberry. We got tons of pears over on that end behind that maple tree. That is a 4-in-1 plum tree. 4 different types of plums grafted on the one tree. We got the same with the plueries, the plums crossed with cherries. 2 different types on this tree. 4 different types of cherries on that tree right there. And back here, and again guys, this is going to be all wood chips. By the way, there's lots of great YouTube people that do videos every day. I really don't have time for that, but I will turn you on to some of them. One is Ross Ratty, who's got an awesome thing going on in Pennsylvania. James Prigioni, the gardening channel up in New Jersey. Then of course Paul Gauci in Washington State. Maybe we'll put links to those channels so you can get lots of videos. You know, for me, I don't do videos too often, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I got a lot of things going on. I got a full-time job, more than full-time, booking lots of different bands. I'm a music promoter and booking agent. But this is my my hobby here, which is turning into a job, I guess you could say. So we got 18 different trees here, and what you do is you cut them to knee high when you get them. Right when you get them and plant them, cut them to knee high. That way they stay short and bushy. You can reach the fruit, get bigger pieces of fruit. You can have more varieties. You can plant them closer together, and then you got different trees ripening fruits at different times. So these are all kinds of cherries, plueries, and plums. And then we got all kinds of different raspberries, gold raspberries. We got purple raspberries, black raspberries, pink raspberries, with kiwi berries growing along the fence as well. This whole fence will be covered in food eventually. But the first thing you got to do is get it in the ground so it can get its roots growing. So There's so much I could talk about here, guys, but we'll go into the back field now. All right, so we're in the back field. As you can see, there's lots of space. We started planting walnuts. It's called the super nut, really giant walnut. Carpathian walnut, Chambers walnut, Cascades walnut. You know, it's gonna take a while for these guys to get big, but just gotta get them in the ground. So these are giant apple trees that are really old. They produce lots of good fruit. We trimmed them back quite a bit this year. We are not anticipating our trees to get this large. In fact, they are not, because we're gonna be pruning them quite a bit every year. But some of these we might get a little larger that we planted in the back field. This, for instance, is a Hughes Virginia crabapple that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson loved to grow. And we'd like to let this thing get huge. So your neighbors have a pond over there. And there's a turtle in there. Big snapping turtle. We got a cider apple I planted back there as well. Up here I got a dogwood cherry. There's all kinds of dogwoods that produce edible fruit, believe it or not, and they're delicious. There's a cherry tree. There's a wild cherry tree. We get tons of wild cherries here. This tree is super old. So yeah, we got lots of nut trees back here. Hazelnut, this is a red burgundy. The leaf pattern, the color is absolutely beautiful. Other hazelnuts over here. We also have like some really old pecan trees. And I planted some young pecan trees to help with pollination. And giant chestnut trees. So we have chestnuts that are over 30 years old. We get thousands of chestnuts here in September. There's an almond. Challenge back here is a deer, of course, because it's just more wild. We do use an organic deer spray that we bought from Burnt Ridge Nursery that seems to be working so far. This is a black walnut tree, a couple of them actually. We planted some currants and gooseberries and bush hazelnuts under the black walnut. You got to be careful though, because a lot of things will not grow near a black walnut. But hazelnuts and gooseberries and currants, stuff like that, will grow. We got a butternut. No, this is a heart nut. This is a type of walnut that's shaped like a heart. Another heart nut. Big patch of wild wine berries over there. We have tons of wild berries here too. Just come out and feast. Along the fence I put a lot of raspberries back there. Here's the butternut. That's another type of walnut. And a cross between a butternut and a heart nut. Buart nut. Here we got the grapes. I put what I'm calling planetary grapes. We got Venus, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars along this fence, making use of all the fences around here. We put them here because we have a huge grapevine that's in the woods there, and it's just a massive trunk. So I figured grapes would grow well here. And then we'll take you over to the creek. We're on 5 acres here. We have all these different sections. Here's where it gets really wild. So we have pawpaws. There's tons of wild pawpaws on the property, but we have also planted some different varieties. The pawpaws are really young right now. The mango pawpaws over here are doing really well, and that's because I put the wood chips down. You can notice a difference between these pawpaws and those that don't have the wood chips. But yeah, it's paradise over here. Just so grateful to be living in this space. Come out here and meditate. The creek is just divine. Nice horse pasture right over there. And I started planting some walnuts over across the creek too. There's plenty of wild space over there where we got wild pawpaws. Just so much potential here. Grateful to be here. Grateful for my friends that have been helping me out. You know who you are. And we're just going to continue on growing lots of food and connecting with nature and doing our best to inspire the world. So that's the end of this video. Thank you for all your support and love. Have a wonderful day.